For soldiers like Toni, however, dreaming and relaxing became a way of life. They found the time for fishing and pets, walking and swimming. Such relaxation could make the soldiers complacent, sometimes ending with tragic results. 17 men dying as a result of being stranded by the rapidly shifting tides. Yet, despite these rare occurrences, the soldiers enjoyed a tranquility not often associated with World War II. One private wrote in his memoirs, "The second place to which I was posted was Hill 100, Laguette. Laguette was an almost completed position. Taking turn on watch was part of my duties. I carried out my guard duties with great pleasure. I could enjoy the vista of Cobo Bay right up to Grand Rocks. During my guard duty, I often saw a Sunderland flying boat passing from the south, almost close enough to touch. The flying boat was never fired on. The soldiers used to jokingly call it the morning courier."
Tag und Nacht halt dienstbereit sein musste hier, weil man ja nie wusste hier, ob nicht doch englische Flugzeug angreifen oder ob hier nicht landen wollen, auch hier oder so Landungsversuche sind.
By night, many soldiers chose to alleviate their boredom with drink. The barracks became the setting for wild, drunken scenes.
Abends sollte eine tolle Sauferei, die sich zum Schluss in Orgien auswirkte. Erfolg war am nächsten Tag 2 Fußkranke, die sich bei dem Tanzwirbel den Fuß verknackst hatten.
With boredom an unexpected enemy, the German authorities devised activities to keep the soldiers occupied. Art and craft competitions were a particular success. Soldiers were rewarded with extra leave or cash prizes for their skill at paintings, wood carvings, and metalwork. Toni himself was an aspiring artist. These simple sketches and doodles showing a talent and desire for drawing that may have seen Toni enter these competitions.
Wisst ihr über den Beruf Bescheid? War doch auch sicher ein Maler. In der Familie bei denen waren alle ein bisschen begabt zu malen.
Alle gut malen und anstreichen.
Bei dem er aufgewachsen ist und auch dessen Bruder war so eine Art Kunstmaler. Aber bei der Familie, der aufgewachsen ist, da war ein normaler Anstreicher. Aber hat auch so Kirchen mit ausgemalt und so.
In der Schule, der konnte gut malen, da waren wir noch welche. Wie der alte Peter, der konnte auch gut malen. Knosjob. Aber sonst, nee. Wie gesagt, war ein normaler Schüler.
As well as drawing, Toni also seems to have been something of a dreamer. Perhaps naively yearning for some excitement, Toni handwrote a communique in his book telling of the destruction of a British submarine off the islands, signed Admiral Doberitz. No such person or event is recorded. Ultimately, it was sport that provided the best opportunity to keep the mind and body fit, both for the soldiers and the islanders.
But they did try to get people back into thought of sport, and I know there were actually football matches between German teams and Guernsey teams.
Da spielten auch 2 Zivilmannschaften, gemischte Mannschaften, Männer und Frauen. Und sowas hatte ich noch nie gehört und gesehen. Das hat uns natürlich ein bisschen amüsiert, ne? Wie die da gegeneinander gespielt haben, Männer und Frauen zusammen in einer Fußballmannschaft.
In the early days, some of the Germans had never really seen golf, and we had Germans following us around. We couldn't forbid them from walking behind us, and they were most interested. It intrigued them to see this funny English game.
Cinemas were decorated with Nazi propaganda, both inside and out. German films as well as English language films that had passed censorship were shown. Rules varied, but on most occasions, both soldiers and islanders were allowed to attend screenings together.
Nur Deutsch und das Schöne war dann im Kino war nicht, da war so eine wunderbare Konzertorgel, die spielte vorher nicht mit Beleuchtung, so mit Wasser und so weiter. war wunderbar, das war schöner als wie der ganze Film. Weil ja die ganzen Filme, die man sah, war ja zum ersten Teil schon mal die Wochenschau, nicht?
You'd see a British Tommy, and he'd put his thumbs up, you know, on the screen, you know. And we used to, and then the German girl announcer would say, a British plane shot down, but the way she said it, you know, and we'd all jeer, you know what I mean?
Unlike the cinema, the theatre was less constrained by German propaganda. Some local writers used this artistic freedom to their advantage, parodying the island situation in their work as a form of subtle defiance. This went down very well with the local population and, unexpectedly, the censor.
Because I was producing the shows, I was the one that used to take the script to the censor. And he would not look, he'd just flick through it, and then he'd take it away to read. And he would say to me, I enjoyed that. Yes, some very good reading there. And the writing is excellent. And I then knew that he understood some of the jokes, but he never put the blue pencil through it at all.
I always admire the way that the local people came out of the woodwork and showed their talent.
We had the men where the wives and the children had evacuated. We had the wives and the children that were left here, that the husbands were in the British forces. And it helped to keep people in, shall we say, a good frame of mind. It was a great education because we also had a very well-known Berlin bandmaster here that was here with the German military band, and he said the arts should have no barrier, whether it is war or peace. And I can always remember those words.
You know, whatever entertainment one puts on, it's only for one night or 1 week and that sort of thing. You can never lose the reality of losing your freedom.